Well, good evening, everybody. Lazerbolt here, and welcome to Friday Night Flights. We are on the luckiest day of the year here. A happy Friday the 13th to y'all. And yeah, welcome to the show. Sit back, relax, grab a drink and a snack, and just enjoy the soft purr of the engines. And yeah, how's everybody doing tonight? See, we got our buddy Travis with us tonight, and our buddy Bob, and we got Midlife Rex back there.
Going good, thank you.
Hello. Doing good.
Yeah, hopefully everybody's warming up a little bit.
Feeling good down in Tennessee now.
Well, it sounds like the weather's pretty darn nice for you there.
Yeah, well, we'll hit the 70s next week.
Yeah, our buddy Kubi Montana is wishing us a good flight. You too, buddy. I see you're with us in game here. That is our bud Midlife Rex. Midlife Rex is actually in the C-160. I don't have that C-160, so I'm seeing him as this, looks like a Cessna 172. The C-160 is actually a pretty impressive aircraft. That is, it looks like a Hercules, just like what we're flying here, but it only has it has two engines instead of four. It's a real nice high-tech airplane, though. It's one of these days I might think about getting it. Checked it out last week, and it looks pretty cool. So our buddy Coast joined us. Hey, Coast, how's it going? You staying warm over there in Buffalo?
Yeah, is 27 warm?
Actually, it is. That's pretty good. Yeah, that sounds like about around here. It's we still have snow all over the place, but at least it ain't been snowing and adding to it. You know what I mean? It's been relatively warm in the 20s, so that's pretty good. Better than it was.
Well, you know, the thaw is always worse than the snow. Oh.
Now I'm ready for all this stuff to melt and just be gone. So anyway, gentlemen, tonight we are starting here in Bangoy. This will be our final flight in the Philippines. Tonight we're going to end up in a small island just off the coast of Malaysia, a little place called Sanga Sanga. And it'll be a nice flight. And yeah, if you've got any business to do here in the Philippines, you better get it done quick, because we've got about 2 more hours and we're no longer going to be in the Philippines. It was a nice trip, though. We probably spent a month and a half here, bouncing around all the different places in the Philippines, and it was very nice. I enjoyed it a lot. Anyway, tonight, let's see here. Our first leg, we're going to have to climb at least to 8,000 feet. We have a decent mountain range to go over. I think it's that right there in the distance. It's pretty good. Little nav map says like 6,000 is enough, but it won't be. Let's go to at least 8,000, and then still keep an eye open and make sure you're not going to scrape on something. So that should work out pretty good. Let's see here, our first leg, our first destination is Dipolog. That is at a heading of 304 degrees, 164 miles away. So count on that. We're going to take off out of here, take a right-hand turn to 304. As usual, we're going to try to maintain around 250 knots. So you can see on that mountain range we're going to pass over, there are taller peaks, but we're going to be avoiding those just to the right of them. So yeah, 8,000 should be fine. 1 minute. Yeah, beginning next week we will be flying around Malaysia. Should be a good time. One of the places I'd like to check out is Kuala Lumpur for sure. That is a very impressive looking city. I remember that from past trips around the world.
I can barely stand Kuala Lumpur.
I almost missed that joke. So yeah, Travis, we get up in the air. I'd like to hear a little bit about your travels. You just got back from vacation, didn't you? Took a little trip to Europe?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, good deal. Okay, everybody, it is 10 after the hour. Let's go ahead and get these birds up in the air. Lazerbolt is spooling up and rolling. Got a real early morning here going on. Gosh, I think it's like 5:30 a.m. for me, and it's still not that dark. We should have some beautiful early morning colors. Bob always has to go over the top of me because his aircraft has considerably more
Yeah.
horsepower than me. Got that.
Sorry about that.
Dirty 30. No, not at all. Not at all, man. And actually, I like the way your landing lights light up my aircraft when you do that. It looks pretty cool.
I just updated mine just before the flight, so it's all fresher and newer.
Good, good, good. Yeah, they had a couple updates of that Dirty 30, like all one right after another, bang, bang. It's been a couple weeks, and yeah, they did some good work on that. It still has a little bit of, it's got some weirdness to it. It's not quite in full release yet, but it's in pretty good shape. I like it a lot. I see you're in that Coast Guard with the orange stripes. Yeah, looks real nice.
Yep. I haven't downloaded any extra ones for it yet.
Yep, the nice thing about that is you only have to do it once, you know, and every time they update it, you don't need to do it again.
Do they have some provided on their website, or is it just like?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I got it from. There's the little package. I forget how many liveries there are, maybe 8 or 10. How does that work, Bob? Is it right on their website where you can grab those, or is that a separate?
They sent me a link to download them the first time. I think you can go to their website and download it there as well.
I have to go grab it then, because just having the one for each airplane is like, I was even looking earlier. It's like,
Yeah, it's nice that they give you a bunch of them for free.
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, like I tell everybody, really, if you get that Dirty 30 and you want to learn all about it, I got a couple really in-depth videos about that very specific aircraft right there. And I spent a long time learning all the nuts and bolts of it because it's kind of not easy to find information about it. It hasn't been released yet. Right now it's in a beta version of it. So information is not super easy to find. But my video is easy to find. Go check it out. Startup procedures, ILS procedures, autopilot, AFCS, all that kind of stuff. I'm crossing through 7,000 for 8,000. Alright, 8,000 looks like it's going to be barely enough. I might go up a little bit more here before too long. Not yet. I'm just looking at that mountain range just beyond the one we're getting ready to cross. Looks pretty tall over there. Beautiful early morning departure. So Travis, where did you go on your trip to Europe there, and how much fun was that?
I stayed within the boundaries of Austria, except for flying in and out of Munich. And yeah, did some skiing just for one day though. And well, not terribly much else to write home about, other than I guess that I did ice skating for the first time.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fun. I've only been ice skating a couple times when I was a little kid. I think I actually owned a pair of skates for a little bit, a pair of hand-me-down skates. How'd you like that?
So I used to play roller hockey when I was younger, and at first it was a little dicey, you know, for the first few minutes, and then after I kind of got used to the balance part of everything, it was just fine. And kind of picked it up like a bike after maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, same thing when I was a kid. I don't remember it being that difficult. But back when I was a kid, everybody had roller skates. Everybody had a pair of roller skates. So, you know, at least we know how to balance a little, you know.
Yeah.
Just remember, ice skates was pretty rough on the ankles, though. You got to have some strong ankles for that.
Yeah, the rental skates, of course, as you would expect, were not the favorite. It kind of got a little bit irritating to wear after an hour.
Oh, right.
But other than that, I didn't really have much for complaints-wise. It was fun.
Well, cool. I'm glad you're back, man. We missed you. So, had a good old time there, but here we are again.
Yeah, thank you. Skiing was fun. Didn't have to go too far for that, and didn't get too beat up. A little bit, but not
Right.
to where I was immobile or anything like that. I like bruised my knee somehow. But
Yeah,
other than that, there
skiing's
wasn't
rough,
really
actually.
any
Skiing's
issues.
real rough. You're going to bang yourself up somehow a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't been skiing in over 15 years, so you can imagine.
Gosh, I think I was maybe 8 years old last time I went skiing.
And yeah, I was much more athletic and in my prime. And maybe a little bit smaller. Definitely weight-wise. So that extra
Didn't fall on your ass
few
quite as
pounds
heavy.
and yeah, that extra few pounds, and then just not being like, I guess, super great in shape. Probably didn't do me any favors, but I did fine. Didn't do any crazy slopes, just kind of beginner related stuff in the sense of like if you're familiar with mostly the blue stuff, like you know, just going down the easy way.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, that's great.
Well, good. Yeah, it sounds like it was a nice, an active vacation there. A little trip to. Well, cool, man. I see our buddy Longhorn's probably not going to join us tonight. He was saying last week something about taking an RV trip up the coast of California there. He was worried it was going to be a little rainy. Hope it's not raining him out too bad.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun trip. Hopefully not. Speaking about the weather here in Florida has been pretty good. We got that, you know, a bit of that cold weather a week or so ago, where it actually got to freezing temperatures. For
Yeah, that's unusual for you guys.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit longer than usual. And then this like last week or so has been like perfect pretty much the whole time, in the 70s during the day, and you know, 50s-ish at night, and just keeping the windows open the whole time. It's been great.
Well, gentlemen, our first destination is a place called Dipolog. It's Romeo Papa Mike Golf. When we get there, we're landing on runway 2. So count on that, runway 02 when we get there. It's a pretty big one, 6,100 feet of asphalt. It's right at sea level, so we're good there. So count on runway 02. Yeah, 8,000 is going to be plenty, as long as we stay away from the real peaks over here. Well, I did get my car started. I was happy that it started right up. I wanted to wait a few days. I don't know if, just to recap the story from last week, last week I went out and finally it warmed up enough to where I could dig my car out. It wasn't completely buried in snow, but it was buried up to the windows with another foot on top of it. But you could see there was a car there, you know, and it was just parked in the parking lot. And I finally dug it out and noticed that, hey, sometime in the last couple of weeks while my car was buried, somebody ran into it and smashed in the front end. So I was pretty happy about that. My 2001 Camaro has the front of it all smashed in. So anyway, since they smashed in the front of my car, the hood was open the whole time. And over the past 2 weeks, the engine compartment just totally filled with snow. The whole thing was filled with snow, just like it was a trunk full of snow. So anyway, the snow all melted out of there, and I figured, well, now that it's relatively dry in there, I'll try to start it up. It started up. My radiator was dry, so I'm sure I'm going to have to get the radiator fixed or replaced. And I'll probably have to replace the hood, too. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the rest of the front of it. I'm not going to take it to a shop and have them do it. I'm going to do it myself, try to save some money. But it's probably going to involve putting a new hood on there and just repainting the whole damn thing. Pretty sure the battery is okay, even though the battery was kind of jarred a little bit. I put it back in place and screwed it down, and everything seems fine. The only problem is now I can't close my hood anymore. But it started, so
like
there you go.
Headache.
Yeah, it's just, I was glad that it started. You know, it wasn't like the guy hit me so hard and knocked it off the engine mounts or something. You know, it still started fine.
Fan was okay. It wasn't hitting the radiator.
Yes, I think there's a hole in my radiator now, and that's about it. That's probably the biggest of the mechanical problems. Of course, now I'm going to be driving around my 2001 Camaro looking like some kind of hillbilly, all smashed up in the front. I'm sure everybody's going to look at me and go, oh, he's driving all crazy and he had an accident. It's like, nope, that happened when I was comfortably sitting on my couch with a sweater on, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, that's too bad. Sorry to hear about that.
What are you going to do, you know? You fix it up, that's what you do. Turn my lights back on up here. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how it shuts your lights off when you're when the time changes. I mean, like when it goes from early morning to bright daylight, it just turns all your lights off. I wish it wouldn't do that. There might be a setting where you don't have to worry about that, but I'm not sure where it would be. There's a million settings as it is. Oh hey Travis, what's up?
Hello.
Going a little bit faster.
Killing
Should I
it.
slow down to 250? It's hard to hit right on that sweet spot where it stays there, you know. Not so much for you because you have auto throttle.
Well, I don't remember how to use all that stuff, and I didn't have time to look at all awesome videos you made a recap on it. Anyways, I did watch a little bit of one of them, but I just haven't had the time. I literally looked at the flight plan for the week, which was my own fault, but a little bit more than an hour ago, and I better update that Dirty 30 because I don't think I've done that yet, and that took kind of oddly quite a while.
It is strange how long the updates on that take. They do take a while.
And yeah, I thought it was broken because it was unresponsive, and I kind of
I
thought
know.
about it. I think I might have had the same issue last time.
I hate installers like that too, or anything that installs to where you click on it and then nothing happens. There's no indication that it worked, and it doesn't tell you that it's working on it. It doesn't. You sit there for like 3 minutes, and then finally a little bar comes up saying how much is left. It's like, geez, oh Peach, for 3 minutes I was about ready to restart my computer, and that would have probably corrupted the whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, because it was asking me where I wanted to install it, and it sat, when I hit next, it just sat there loading for, it had to be at least 5 minutes.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of times it'll sit there and not have a loading bar or nothing. It'll just sit there. It looked like nothing happened at all. You can't tell it's working on it in the background. It's like, just give me a hint that you're doing something, you know?
And then I tried closing it, and that didn't do anything, and I tried right-clicking on the bottom and closing it that way, that didn't do anything, and then I got distracted with something else and walked away, and
You came back and it was done.
Came back and, and it was, well, it wasn't done, but it was going.
Oh, right. Well,
indicating
good.
that it was doing something.
Yeah, you're kind of lucky that you didn't screw something up and have to reinstall the whole damn thing. That is a nice aircraft, though, that Dirty 30. That is pretty fancy. You know, it's basically the same thing I have, but it has the really fancy glass cockpit on the inside there.
Need to take some time learning this thing, especially since we're going to be probably flying it more often than not.
It's got some peculiarities, just like I said. Some of them are, like I said, it's got a couple things that it does that are weird. I'm not sure it's supposed to do that. Like, you know, like I said, they're still working on it. But it also has, it's got some really nice features, man. It flies great. So our buddy Captain Hopper is wishing us a happy Friday here. Says, what does the stewardess bring around the peanuts? Oh, the stewardess is going to bring the peanuts any minute now.
I was wondering why she's trying to have me come back there. I think I'm the peanut.
Going to put a bag over you? Yeah, we're looking good. Just remember, we're coming in runway 02.
About 85 miles out.
Roger that, 85. You know, looking at the map, it actually looks like it'd be much easier to just come in on runway 20. That way we can just go to the right of that mountain that's right there. Come in off the ocean. So why don't we do that? Let's go ahead and scrap runway 2. We're not doing runway 2 anymore. Let's do runway 20. Runway 20 when we get there. That will help us avoid that mountain, which we don't want to hit that anyway. Same difference, 6,000 feet of asphalt, of course. We've got our buddy Jay Money up here with us. Not sure if we've ever met Jay Money before, but welcome, Jay Money. I see your name tag back there. It might be somebody just flying around the area and not connected with us at all.
In an A10.
Is he not Warthog, huh?
Yep, Thunderbolt.
I like
A10
that.
Warthog.
Yeah, I like that, man. Last couple weeks ago, somebody flew that, and it's pretty sharp looking.
It's a bird time. It's kind of amazing the A10. If you hold the trigger down too long on that thing, you can stall the plane.
Yeah, I was watching a thing on that very thing about last week. They said the guns on that thing have such a powerful thrust ratio that if they installed 2 guns on it, it would shoot you backwards. So 1 gun is all it can handle. You know what I mean? One already has enough thrust to where it wants to stall you. But if you put 2 guns on it, your airplane would actually go backwards and you would die.
I can believe it. My friend a while years ago got me one of those like magnet things that like picture things that you can put on your fridge, and this he gave me the A10 Warhog, so it's like a little bit bigger than a piece of paper, and it's got just, you know, like some specs and stuff and whatever, and kind of like the wired frame of it and stuff.
Right.
It's kind of cool.
It is quite a beast. It is one of my favorite little warplanes. And it's perfect for flying with us because it's any kind of a military jet looks really good with these C-130s. Yeah, I had no idea it was Friday the 13th until I looked at the flight plan about a half hour before the flight. And I'm like, oh, what? It's the 13th. Lucky us. So I just found out a couple days ago that the bar that I live above, in a couple weeks, they are going to have a curling tournament downstairs. And I was like, what the hell? How the hell are we going to have a curling tournament down in the bar? Don't you need ice for that? And apparently, what these people are doing, they contacted the owner there, my buddy, the owner of the bar, contacted him and asked him about it. It's like, yeah, we were wondering if we could get our league in there and start doing some curling. And they have a portable curling rink or whatever. It's just this big inflatable thing that's the size of a rink, and they measured the bar and they're like, yeah, it's big enough, and we've got plenty, you know, because we got a big band room in the back that has a stage and a big dance floor and all that. And they set it up in there and they plug it in and they flood it with water, and water self-levels itself, and then it just freezes overnight, and they come in the next day and they smooth it out and you can play. You can curl indoors. I'm like, really? You got a portable curling freaking thingy going on? So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that because I like me some curling. I've been watching a lot of that last couple of days.
That's pretty cool. I've seen down here, not very often, but sometimes they'll have these ones like that have a sand top on it, and it's not
right,
exactly
like a
curling, but it's pretty much the same premise.
Yeah, what do they call it? It's not shuffleboard.
Yeah.
It's something else, but it's close to that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, they used to have those in bars all the
And,
time with the sawdust on there and the little pucks.
Yeah, they have the ones that I've seen have sand on it, and I guess the sand grains are good enough medium to let it really go smoothly. And it was pretty fun. It was kind of cool, but I don't go out to the bars very much, so I've only done it maybe a couple times.
I'm just a little surprised that, I mean, as I watch like Olympic curling, it's like, how in the world are they going to have, I mean, because that's a pretty long freaking like court they use. I didn't realize there'd be enough room downstairs to do that, but apparently it's going to be just fine. I'm very much looking forward to it. Had a couple of my friends say, hey, you like curling so much, you should go ahead and sign up. I'm like, you kidding me? I mean, I like curling, but I've never tried it. I've never played it. You know, I mean, I know the strategy. I'd be a good coach, tell them do this and do that, but to actually do it, no, I'm not ready for that. Plus, it don't sound like fun to me. I'd rather just watch.
I stopped doing curling because every time I did it, I got laughed at when I went to go pick up the 5-pound dumbbells.
It's good to have you back, buddy.
Sorry.
Keep 'em coming. Yeah, before too long, probably about the time we reach the coast over there, just the tip of the coast, I'm going to bring her down to about 2,500.
About 50 miles out. Now.
About 50 out right now. Right on. So the way it is, we're going to have to go past the runway just a little bit to turn because it's not quite lined up. But yeah, it's plenty big. Kind of looking forward to visiting Malaysia next week. We'll probably be there for at least 2 weeks. It's yeah, did a little research on the area, and boy, there's some nice places there.
Yeah, I feel like Malaysia's like kind of maybe similar to Austria in the sense that you know it's there, but not much happens in there that like is exciting or makes the news and stuff.
Right, doesn't make the news much. Actually, that's a good thing. Any country that doesn't make the news very much, that's a good place. I've just got the most beautiful colors going on. Got those beautiful C-130s behind me, all silhouetted by the sun. Looks great. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a good view of that Thunderbolt there. Once J Money gets that down on the ground, that is a really nice looking aircraft. It's I didn't know until a couple weeks ago that thing is default, and that's awesome.
I haven't even flown it then.
No, me too.
I didn't realize it was default either.
I don't see him anymore.
I see his name
I'm
tag
sure I
back
scrolled
there.
right
I think
past
he's
it.
back there a little bit. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start bringing her down. Like I said, I'm going to bring her down to about 2,500. Not a big hurry to bring her down. We still got a little ways to go. So it's going to be right around here somewhere. Just a reminder, we are coming in on runway 20, not 02, but 20.
"25 miles out now, showing."
Roger that. Pretty much making a beeline for that. There is a nav aid going on there. Romeo Papa Bravo 1 Foxtrot. Once I reach that, I'm turning final. It's right at the tip of that little peninsula there. Got one more 1,000 to descend. Holding 2,500. imagine we're getting awful close. I'm guessing about 15 miles or so.
Yep, I'm showing 12 and you're in front of me.
Right on. Lazerbolt has the runway in sight. Turning final, runway 20. I don't think I started slowing down early enough. This might be tricky. I'm going too fast to put my gear out.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, thanks for that heads up, though.
Yeah, I started slowing down way too late. And these big birds do not like to slow down. Alrighty, I'm gonna try the gear and see if it works. It's probably not gonna be good for him.
They're out the anchor.
Oh boy, well this is a long runway and it still might not be long enough. We'll be counting on those reverse thrusts for sure. We're good. I'm a little bit high, but my speed's fine. Lazerbolt is clear to the right, or the left that is.
Right. What?
Clear to the left. I'm right clear.
Oh, Travis, I might run over you here. I'm sorry. Right on your tail anyway.
Went a little long.
No, you're good. You can set it down.
Thank you. Oh, okay. When you drop the throttles, it wants to drop.
It almost stalls immediately when you pull it all the way back. Did you recalibrate your throttle on that?
I did.
Okay, good. It's a simple process how to do it.
I put the both the flight throttle and the ground throttle in the 0% position, so maybe that something to do with it there.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me like 2 tries to get it right, and you can't tell if you got it right until you're trying to come in for a landing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That way for sure.
I kept having the problem to where it's like, especially when I was taxiing, it's like all or nothing. It's like I'm either not moving at all, or it gives me 100% throttle, and just I take off. You know, it's just there's no subtlety to it until I got it right.
Yeah, exactly. I've been noticing the same thing a little bit.
Well, I'm not sure about that one guy, JD Money. I don't know if he's coming in or not. I don't see him anymore. Let's go ahead and grab this runway, and we'll get ready to get out of here. And I just hit a tree.
Trying to shake the coconuts out of the tree.
I guess I shook a whole bunch of them out. What kind of place has a 6,000-foot runway and no taxiway?
This one.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Back on the runway.
I might take out the windsock here.
Yeah, one of the only things I don't like about that Dirty 30 is it's pretty resource intensive. It gives they haven't optimized it 100% yet. It's pretty tough on the frame rates. I just noticed every time I get close to Travis, it brings up my resource usage warning. But hey, that's the price you pay. Flying an awesome airplane. Alright guys, our second leg turned to a heading of 219er. 219er. It's pretty much straight ahead. Turn off that yellow blinking warning light here. Hit that reset button. Okay, 219er.
Of course.
We are on course if you're going 219. Alright gentlemen, I think we're ready to get this show back up in the air. Myself some flaps here. Alrighty, let's get going guys. Lazerbolt spooling up, rolling. Just had somebody hop into the Discord chat here for a second, and they went away before I could read their name. Well, hello, whoever you were, and goodbye.
Sure what flap setting I'm supposed to have for takeoff, but she yells at me
5.
for seems like every one of them.
Yeah, 5. It'll complain if you use less than 5. It will like literally say, use 5 flaps. Which seems like a bit much to me. I mean, you don't always need that much, but if you're flying that thing, you better do it. Just beautiful. Love seeing these birds all take off together. So I had somebody, and I actually kind of had this same question a while back too. I got over it, but I still had the same question. But I had somebody comment on one of my videos today that he was asking why I called, in the thumbnail, I called the Captain Sim C-130J, I called it the Super Hercules. And I thought too, is that really a Super Hercules? It's got the old gauges and everything, blah, blah, blah. But that's what it calls it in the marketplace. The marketplace calls it a Super Hercules, I'll call it a Super Hercules. Although there's very little difference between the C-130H and the C-130J, and apparently the Super Hercules. I don't know. I guess they can call it whatever the hell they want. I just assumed the Super Hercules would be a lot more modern than all the, steam gauges these have.
I would think so.
Yeah, I think actually that the C-130J, they call it the Super Hercules for a number of small reasons, one of them including it has 6 blades instead of 4. It probably has a little horsepower increase too.
I know the F-18 Hornet got upgraded to the Super Hornet a while, probably a long time ago now, but I would assume it would be like the similar principle there.
Yeah, I mean, was there a big explanation of why they call it a Super one now, or? I just figured it's marketing.
It's a physically bigger airplane, actually.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Like 25% bigger or something like that. I'm not an expert, but this is from what I heard a while back.
Like I said, I mean, the only explanation I had to give the guy was, well, that's what they call it in the marketplace. It's kind of a weak explanation, but that's all I got. I don't know why they call it that. Once again, we're going to climb up to 8,000, guys. I don't think I mentioned that, but climb back up to 8,000, 250 knots, and we'll be golden.
Whether it's accurate or not in the marketplace, if that's what it says in the marketplace and you're referring it to it accurately, then so be it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they wouldn't just pull that out of their ass. It is Captain Sim, and I wouldn't put it past them to just call it whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, these days.
He came out with a gunship now, an AC-130 gunship,
Oh,
and it's still got the steam gauges. Yeah. But it still has the steam gauges like the H model.
Jeez,
So,
I almost kind of doubt that they would have one that still had steam gauges. You know what I mean? That's a pretty old-fashioned airplane.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't upgrade it to the J AC-130.
Well,
which is what
thinking
they're
back,
flying now.
like way back in the day, Captain Sim had this big package of C-130s you could buy. There was like 10 of them in there, and gosh, I don't remember if the AC-130 had glass cockpit or not. They didn't have many of them with glass cockpits, and I thought that was just a Captain Sim thing, that they just didn't model it, so they didn't use it.
Well, when I was at Herbert Field, all of the gunships had the glass cockpit.
It seems like it would. That's kind of a modern version of it. Lasers holding 8,000.
I suspect just for the extra defenses and stuff that it'd have on board, and intercommunication
countermeasures and things.
I'd suspect that every single one of them was probably equipped with glass cockpits.
I mean, especially if you have like radar systems and anti-aircraft this and that, and just basic targeting systems. It's hard to do that with a big steam dial. Alright, trying to get my speed here to level out at about 50, 250. It's hard to get it just right. One of our airports tonight, I think it might be the last airport, has quite a tricky approach. It's a bit of a resort town with lots of condos and hotels, and there's like 2 of them right in front of the runway. Like, you got to really be careful not to hit your wingtip on one of them.
Yeah, thread the needle. I've only had one mudslide tonight. I should be able to handle that.
Ooh, you got mudslides going on tonight, man. That sounds good.
Shh, don't want them to take away my flight sim license.
It's just a milkshake.
Yeah. But if I clip the building, you'll know why.
You're just trying to share your mudslides with the good people in that condo.
Sure.
Alright, gentlemen, our next stop for the evening is going to be Zamboanga International. It is an international runway, very big one, but it doesn't have an ILS approach, so don't count on that. But we are going to be coming in on runway 27. Make sure again here. Yes, it will be runway 27. Count on that when we get there. It's pretty much sea level. So yeah, we got 8,500 feet of asphalt. Runway 27. That course heading for that runway is 275. Getting a little bit close to some of the ground around here, but we got plenty of room. Good on fuel. Well, I can definitely tell the weather's getting nicer. The people downstairs are really hooping it up at the bar tonight. The natives get real restless once it starts warming up around here. Bob, didn't you say you had like 75 degrees a couple days ago down there in Tennessee?
Yeah, lasted a day or two, and then it dropped again for a few days down to, it dropped to freezing yesterday and this morning. But
Oof.
by Tuesday, it was 63 today. By Tuesday, it's supposed to be back in the 70s again.
There you go. Boy, I wouldn't
So,
mind a
up and
60
down
degree
here.
day. Like, we're probably not going to
No,
see
it felt
60s
good.
until
I was-
like March. Bob, you got your gear down?
No, I was about to ask you the same thing because it looked like yours was down, but now it's up.
Oh.
So I don't know
Yeah.
what the,
When you got closer, it put your gear away. That's weird.
yeah, yours showed the same.
Huh. Okay, odd. Yeah, there's always something weird.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of which, I just released another beta 5 today.
Yeah, I
For
saw
the
that.
dirty? For the dirty
No,
30
for the
they
sim
did?
update. No.
For the simulator.
Oh, for the sim. Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that.
Don't know
I
if
saw about
noticed
2
anything
weeks ago
about,
they did some work in like California. They added some cities and made them a little nicer. That was a couple weeks ago though. What did they do new in this new one?
just looked like a lot of bug fixes, and there's a couple new features or something like that, but I didn't really, I don't know, nothing stuck into my brain, I guess.
Yeah, I wasn't even
Just
expecting a new one.
Mostly just bug. I didn't see anything specifically on multiplayer. Maybe I missed something, but it's not really the biggest deal, I suppose.
If it's like this past update, it'll be months before we see it.
Oh, it's in the testing phase right now, you say. Are you gonna
Yeah, it
test?
just
Are you
got,
gonna go ahead and download
released.
this one, Travis, or just let it ride?
Oh no, I learned my lesson once on that one. I think I'll just let it ride.
I'd be the same way. It's like I've heard too many horror stories about people using the test version and it screws everything up. Well, plus the fact that if you're on the test version and everybody else isn't, you can't fly with everyone else. Or at least that's the way it used to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is.
True. I think so.
I haven't flown on this version since I've been out of town and busy so much lately that I haven't gotten to run into any real issues yet, so I have no reason to jump over to the beta, at least for now.
I did see that No Man's Sky just had a big update. That's a game that I've been kind of enjoying off and on over the years. And yeah, they just added a whole bunch of new stuff. They keep doing that with that game. They keep making it better and better all the time. I think they added a bunch of stuff like scrap stuff. You can find old derelict spaceships and scrap them out for parts and everything. That's pretty cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a good game that when it first came out, I wasn't impressed at all. I mean, you know me, I'm an Elite Dangerous guy. When it comes to space games, Elite Dangerous is my favorite. You can't do better than that. It's amazing. And then No Man's Sky came out. It's like, yeah, this is cool and everything. It's a little cartoony and a little basic, and it's just missing a lot of cool stuff, but it's okay. But with all the work they've done on it over the last, God, I don't know, it's been like 10 years since they released that. It's pretty good now. I mean, they really added a lot of cool stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I try not to tell too many people I have ED, but that was my favorite as well.
I haven't really played Elite Dangerous in a long time. I've actually played a lot more No Man's Sky, but Elite Dangerous is just fantastic, especially in VR. It is the most immersive, awesome VR experience I've ever had. It's amazing.
Glad you clarified that for me.
And we used to make that joke all the time. Hey, have you played ED lately?
Once you get it, you have it forever.
Hey, there's Travis.
They don't run off subscription-based models, is what I mean.
Yeah, that's what you mean. I'm still a little bit scratching my head about, you remember years ago, I forget which update it was, but it was years ago now, where they released, I don't know if it was Odyssey, but they released Odyssey, and you could buy Odyssey, and it was an add-on, yada yada, and it added all kinds of cool stuff. But they also had this, like, ridiculously expensive upgrade. It was like $150 that you could pay, and then you'll get every upgrade from now until the future. You know what I'm saying? And some people did it. I know a couple people around here that did it. I think Warhawk did. And it was Wingman Tingley bought that. It was like, yeah, I'm all set for the future. Anytime they release any payware, I've got it. And then that was the last thing they released. I almost thought, that's almost kind of criminal, you know? I mean, they released a couple things here and there, but there hasn't been any major updates since that. And that had me scratching my head. I thought, golly. And I know they didn't do it on purpose. I know they intended to go forward and release. They had all these big plans. They were going to do this and that, and atmospheric planets, and there's going to be life on planets, and water, and blah, blah, blah. And they just never got around to doing any of that. And I don't know. It just seems like if I was one of those people that paid the big money for all the future updates, and then that was the last update, I'd be a little bit ticked. I bet you there were a lot of people that probably asked for their money back, you know?
Yeah, I think I kind of grew out of the daily grind aspect of it and stopped playing as much. I know I got the one, I probably was Odyssey, where you can land on the planets. And that was the last thing that I bought.
Well, I don't think we're too awful far from this airport. We better, we might want to start thinking about bringing these birds down a little bit here.
40 miles.
40 miles? Yeah, it's probably about time. I'm going to bring it down to 2,500. I'm also going to turn to the left here a few degrees, so lining up for, was it runway 27? Yeah, Elite Danger is one of those games, too, that it's like, no, hold on a second. Well, it's one of those that I kind of do the same thing you're talking about, Travis, to where it's like you played the shit out of it and then you haven't got back to it in a while. But it's one of those games that I do that with it also. It's like when I'm in the mood for that game, I play the hell out of it. God, I just can't get enough of it, and I just play it for weeks on end, every spare moment I can get. And then I get burned out on it too. You know what I'm saying? I almost lean a little too hard into it just because it's so awesome. And then it's like, I don't need to play this again for another year. You know, I've got it. And then once in a while, it's just like nothing else cuts the mustard. That is like, there's nothing else sounds as cool as that game. And I'll play it again for a couple weeks to a month or so. Just go crazy on it. Yeah, see, we got a Insomniac 416 up there ahead of us. Sorry, Travis?
I kind of do similar things often. Been a little while, but there's been some games in the past I used to play like that, and he just completely stopped one day for no apparent reason other than just, all right.
I do that with Minecraft too. I love Minecraft, but I don't play it all the time. But when I'm playing it, that's all I play. That's all I can think about when I'm not playing it. Is all I'm thinking of is Minecraft. I'm working on some cool project or something, you know. And then I won't play it again for a year. But then once I get into it, I just can't put it down.
It's amazing how long Minecraft has like been sticking around. It's a really good game for, you know, the younger people, younger generation kids and stuff, where it's not too intense or anything like that. But,
Right.
That's probably what's helped it stick around.
I love that it was a relatively new, unheard of idea. I like stuff like that. It was a revolutionary game. I mean, they weren't exactly the very first to do that mining and crafting kind of thing, but they were the first to do it really good, and they added a bunch of neat things that nobody's ever seen, and now there's a million of them. They basically started an entire genre of video games, and you know what I'm saying? Now everybody's trying to copycat them because it was a big success. And yeah, I don't know. I can understand why it got big, just because, like I said, it was something different, something new and unique. It's not just another let's run around and shoot everything, you know. And now, I don't know, there's probably people that think, yeah, whoop-de-doo, Minecraft, whatever. But it's like, no, man, when that thing came out, that was revolutionary. There was nothing quite like it, and that's why it was so big, you know. It started an entire genre.
It did.
Yeah, I think
they
Insomniac
call
might be
that
waiting for
genre.
us at that next airport. Might be waiting for us.
I think they called that genre your craft.
It is my craft. Well, it's hard to believe it is time
It's no
already,
longer
but this is our
Minecraft.
penultimate stop for the evening up here. So when we get to, what is that place over here? Romeo Papa Mark Zulu. When we get there, we're going to take a 10-minute break once we get down. So that's our break time right there, to grab a cookie, grab a coffee or a cocktail, and yeah, go let the dog out, go down, like and subscribe, do that kind of stuff. It's all fun. And I say it all the time, but I'm not kidding. 10 minutes is enough time to download this game. It's a very small download. If you wanted to meet us at this next airport, it's really easy to do. Grab the game. A good cheap way to get the game is if you've got Game Pass. It's on there for free, so if you got Game Pass already, just go ahead and grab it. Doesn't take long to download it.
Your guys' favorite or preferred football team win last week?
Yes. Of course, my favorite football team is the Lions, but my favorite team in the Super Bowl this year won. Yeah, I was happy to see Darnold get it.
Good deal.
Not a big Seahawks fan, but I did like to see Darnold do good. His story is pretty good. The way he's been tossed around the league and nobody wants him, and he's got no success, and teams are passing him around. And then last year the Vikings got him, and he did awesome. Yeah. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Took him to one of their best seasons ever, and then they traded him. You know, I mean, they kind of knew he was going to get traded. He was only a temporary thing. But it was a shame that he got traded after doing that good. And the team they traded him to, he took him right to the Super Bowl and won it. So yeah, take that, Vikings.
Yeah, before the game started, I just kind of made my mind towards the Seahawks, not for any super particular reason, because I don't keep up with football as much as you guys do. And yeah, I got lucky and won.
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to root for the evil empire there with the Patriots. There's no way I'm rooting for them guys. Not after their 20-year-long, you know, they're not quite 20 years, but they had just far too of a stretch where, oh my God, every Super Bowl is these guys? Get out of here. I'm so sick of them. We don't need those guys to make a big comeback, and I'm scared they're going to be awesome for another decade.
Their offensive game was pretty miserable to the fact that I actually, after the half, I didn't watch quite a bit of the third quarter. I was like, I know where this is going.
Yeah. I still
For
enjoyed
kicks
the
and
game.
Not
Still
much.
thought it was good. Of course, with a
moving
game
forward.
that's that low scoring, you hear a lot of people say that it's, oh, it was a big boring game and all that. And I don't know. I've never seen a boring football game. It's just
Like, it was
the
that
nature
boring,
of
like-
the game. You know, every single snap is exciting. Every single one. Even when it's 0-0, anything can happen at any time. You know what I mean? Every single snap has me at the edge of my seat.
I was just a little disappointed that they weren't getting any forward yardage, which does say a lot for the defense of the Seahawks. But
Yeah, I think the biggest
both
problem
of the
is
defensive games were on point.
the Patriots. Their quarterback Drake May there. He's kind of young. He's a little green. He's a little wet behind the ears. I think most of their problems were from his inexperience. And I think in the future, he's going to be amazing. Once he matures a little bit, that's really going to be something. But he just could not handle what the Seahawks were throwing at him defensively. And they've got a really young offensive line. Like I said, I hate to say that the Patriots are looking good for the future, but the Patriots are actually looking pretty good for the future. What they showed during the Super Bowl is not any indication of how good or bad they are. You know what I mean? It just wasn't their day.
Yeah.
It wasn't their day. With a more experienced quarterback and somebody who just knows how to handle those situations, they would have done just fine. Oh, you know what? This might be the runway that has that airport or that building right in front of it. And once again, I'm going way too damn fast. Slow down. That is, watch out. There's going to be two huge hotels just to the left of the runway. Make sure you do not hit them. And they're not even just to the left of the runway. They're kind of right in front of it. It's pretty terrible placement. It makes me wonder, is it really like that in real life? Because I wouldn't want to stay in that hotel or take off from this runway. I mean, look at it. It's right in front of the runway. I'm going to go over the top of it instead of to the right of it. You can go to the right if you want. I'm just going to go over the top of it. It's a long, long runway. Up going to the right of it anyway. It's not bad if you go to the right of it, but you will have to straighten out because the runway's in a different direction. Very unusual to have a building right on the end of the runway like that. Alright guys, when you get down, go ahead and back taxi at the beginning of runway 20 and we'll take 10. Big airport here. I'm a little surprised it doesn't have any landing aids.
Well, if they didn't build that big hotel there in front of it, so
That's
they probably
true.
could have had one.
Yeah, that's true. If you had a glide slope, you'd hit that building right dead center. I wonder what came first, that building or the runway?
Question. I don't know which one's worse though.
Yeah.
I have to fix the throttles on the fly. I have to do that on our brake.
That was a nice looking landing though, right there on dead center. Look good, buddy.
Thank you.
Our buddy Midlife Rex got that bird down nice and safe too. That was a nice looking landing.
Well, boy, there could be a little bit more oomph in these brakes.
Yeah, it's a good thing that the reverse thrust on that thing is monstrous.
Yeah, I think they put a baseball card in the spokes for the wheel brakes on this thing.
That was a beautiful landing, Bob. Loved it. You
Felt pretty
floated
good.
it in like a kite. It just kind of came in and nice and soft. Alright, I think maybe Insomniac will be flying with us. I can't tell what they're in at the moment, but let's go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Right now it is 28 past the hour. At 38 past the hour, we're on the runway getting up in the air. So yeah, go grab a drink, go grab a snack, go pet the dog on the head. They love that. And we'll be back in the air in 10 minutes. Yeah, I've always wondered too, for people who aren't flying with us and then they see 4 to 7 aircraft show up at a place, you know, that makes them scratch their head, like, yeah, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
Try not to cover up the pappy lights, but I covered one of them up, so just gonna have to deal with 3 of them.
Right. Look, see, we don't need it anymore, but somebody might.
I'll be back in a minute. Go down there and fill up my cup.
Ooh, get one for me too. Mudslide sounds great.
Oh, I'm done with that. I'm lucky I made it in this landing without hitting something.
I've never heard of a mudslide.
Really?
What does that contain?
Oh, it's chocolatey and alcohol-y. I mean, think of like a chocolate milkshake with a couple shots of vodka in there. That's basically what it tastes like.
Okay.
Yeah, they taste good, but they can sneak up on you, boy. I'll tell
Oh,
you
yeah.
what.
Anything that tastes that good, definitely sneak up on you. When I was bartending, I made a lot of them.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the sometimes in the past I liked having like Bailey's and a milkshake or something like that,
Mhm.
but I kind of started feeling like it was a little bit pointless because the alcohol never really got to me, so I was like, eh. You know,
Bailey's
'cause
is
the
already a little
ratio,
weak. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. The ratio just wasn't like great, and it's probably not great to be mixing alcohol that much.
That's
anyways for
why you
myself.
that's why you add a shot of Bailey's and a shot of vodka. You
Yeah,
can mix
probably
vodka with
better.
anything, man.
Oh, that's kind of hilarious. The the flaps, it says on the side of the lever change thing, ballooning effect is normal when moving flaps from 50% to 100%.
What does that even mean?
Like ballooning, like lifting up.
You said ballooning?
Yeah, ballooning.
I didn't know that's what it was called.
That's
Yeah.
that Florida accent. You got to know the difference between ballooning and ballooning.
I mean, it just makes
Yeah, the
sense.
float-
I mean, everybody knows when you hit your flaps, it's going to raise you up, right? I mean, that's kind of an obvious statement. Gentlemen, we're going to get out of this airport here in about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and take this runway back, and we'll make our final preparations for our final leg of the evening. At the end of tonight's flight, we'll be in the quaint little island town of Sanga Sanga. I forgot what the island itself is called, but it's not very big. I think it starts with a B, like Bongo or something like that. But yeah, neat little place. It's beautiful. Once we get there, you'll see.
Flap setting on the sturdy 30 is it set to for not being yelled at?
I usually do like 50%. Or 50.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't put 5 notches or 50% in, it'll tell you. It'll say so right on your master unit. You need, or it might even tell you right on the artificial horizon. Somewhere it says, like it'll give you a caution. As a matter of fact, it'll give you a caution that you're not, and you'll have to clear that out. As I said, you don't always need 5 flaps, but whatever. If that's what it wants, that's what it gets.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Seemed a little excessive to me, but
Well, it might be tied to the CNMU master unit, to where if you put all of your details in, I'm carrying this much weight, this much fuel, the runway is this long, it might adjust that. It might say, oh, you only need 2 notches. But by default it says, nah, just use 5. Use 5 all the time.
that makes sense. Yeah, you're not going to do your calculations, you're going to pay for it.
Right, if you're not going to do the calculations, it's just going to tell you, you know, be the most extreme cautious you can. All right, gentlemen, 1 minute. We're climbing up and out of here. Let's see, Sanga Sanga is at a heading of 232 degrees. Count on that, 232 degrees. And let's go ahead and climb back up to 8,000. Okay, if you guys have your 92.5 notches of flaps ready, let's go ahead and get these birds out of here. Lazerbolt is rolling.
He yells at you if your trim's not in place too.
Yeah, that the bitching Betty on that thing never shuts up. She tells you every little thing. What I don't like about it is she tells you everything, whether it's good or bad, and every time she opens her mouth, it sounds like she's complaining. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like you're doing something wrong, even when you're doing everything perfect. It just makes you feel like you're doing it wrong because she keeps telling you stuff. You know, it's like, nah, you know, just. That's why I turned it right down. You can't turn it off, but I just turned the voice down to 0.
Yeah. Boy, she's forgetting this is a military aircraft. Huber thinks of the military aircraft sometimes.
This is a nice looking little city here. Not very little. It's actually, I bet you they get a hell of a tourism jolt around here. It's very nice. Nice beaches. And They got plenty of nice hotels right at the end of the runway.
No shortage of that. Because they're tall.
Okay, turning to heading of 232. Yeah, I'm going to miss the Philippines just a little bit. It's been consistently nice. Every single flight had just some nice stuff to see. None of it was just plain Jane generic. It was all beautiful.
Yep. A lot of good scenery here. Yep.
I really like this kind of stuff too, with all the little islands, and you got your, they're all green and nice looking, and there's water everywhere. It looks beautiful.
Some people would say plane, and some people would say Manila.
Nice. By the way, when we get to Sanga Sanga at Romeo Papa Mike November, let's land runway 20. We got a 6,200 foot of runway, pretty much sea level, asphalt. So coming on runway 20, the heading of that runway is 199. So it's pretty straight in magnetically. So yeah, 20. Trying to jog over to the left a little bit here so I can try to get on that pink line a little bit and kind of be with you guys.
Your control.
Hey, Spiff.
Hello, hello.
Well, hey Spiffy, how you doing, buddy? Long time no see. How you doing? Our buddy Tail Dragger. Just so you know, we are broadcasting on YouTube right now, so just want to give everybody a heads up.
Good deal. Hello,
How are you?
world.
Oh, I burned way past 8,000. I'm going to level off at 10,500.
Dude, I turned my autopilot on. With a button on my thing, I don't know how to turn it off now.
You go down to on your yoke, there's a GS button, or a GO button for go around. Hit that twice.
Okay.
The first time you hit it, it'll shut off your autopilot, and the second time you hit it, it'll stop her complaining.
Thank you. Perfect. Good enough for me.
So, Spiffy, how you doing, buddy? You gonna be able to join us on the last leg tonight? How you been?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot here.
Right on. Yeah, we just took off maybe 5 minutes ago from our penultimate destination there. We're inbound to Sanga Sanga.
Nice. So RPMZ to RPMN. Copy.
That sounds right. Yeah, actually, I got to bring this bird down
Believe
a
it or
little bit.
not.
I'm way too high.
No singing required.
I thought you were going to say something like, "You're welcome, Sanga Sanga. You're welcome."
I will spare everybody's ears.
I won't.
Yeah, luckily Travis never feels that way. He can't shut it off. Okay, bringing her back down. Try not to speed up too much. Another one of them. Look at out there. There's 20, 30 little islands dotted all over the place. More than that, maybe. I wonder how many of these are privately owned, you know? Be pretty cool to own your own little island out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
I imagine, though, you would probably have security concerns. You know, out in the middle of nowhere, anybody could just pull up in a boat and give you a real hard time.
I would imagine that if a person could afford the island, the security just kind of comes with the territory.
You're right, they've already got security.
I mean, you know.
Like, no, I bought this island, now I'm broke.
Yeah.
It happens. You gotta build a runway on your island, otherwise you don't land.
Well, you probably wouldn't need a car. I mean, it might be nice to have a tractor or something to do some work around the house, but you wouldn't need a car. You need a good boat. Just get something like a Goose or an Icon. That way you can have a boat and an airplane.
There you go. Give me a hookup for that information, but that would be fishing.
Wah, wah, wah.
What are you flying tonight, Spiffy?
I don't know yet. I don't have the C-130, so we're gonna have to see.
They do have a cool A-10 Warthog there, which is default. I should keep up with this just fine. Probably even shoot us
that'd
down
be a
if you
good one
try.
everybody'd see me in.
Switched to that just for fun, but I didn't want to switch aircraft and relearn something I haven't flown again.
So what you been doing, Spiffy? They keep you working hard these type of months, or is it more of a summertime job you got?
It's busy no matter what.
Yeah, everybody
right
needs
now,
water.
You know, not doing so much of the busy summer work, but we
Right.
got wintertime projects that are going
Right.
on.
You're probably not digging any wells, but everybody needs maintenance.
That's it. We're also replacing some major components on some of the equipment, so
Well,
that's
whatever keeps you
been
busy.
keeping me busy here lately. Keeps me busy. New stuff. Always enjoy learning new stuff.
That's fun. Kind of components, like pump related components or something completely different?
New air compressor on the drill rig.
Nice.
only about $125,000 riding on it.
Oh, is that all?
That is all. Maybe a few bucks more.
So the song Under Pressure is going on in your head around the thing.
The what?
Or ways the song Under Pressure, or well, not Under Pressure, but you know, the lyrics
Pressure.
Under Pressure.
Oh yeah, no, definitely under pressure. And don't get me wrong, so far everything's going good, but there's a lot of stuff that's got to get fine-tuned.
Where you live, is there a lot of stuff like frozen pipes that burst and stuff like that, or you don't get that too much?
Depends on how cold it gets.
Right.
This year we haven't really gotten cold enough to have too much freezing. Sounds like everybody else in the country got it.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of that around here. A lot of people had burst pipes, and you know, even just like trees get too heavy with snow and ice and falling down, you know, causing a lot of damage that way. We even had our pipe sprees here one night. Didn't burst anything, got lucky, but I woke up one morning and they had no water. I was like, uh-oh, time to turn the heat on in every room, and hopefully that heats everything up, and it did. It worked. I live above the bar, so what it was is that night, the heat in the bar automatically shuts off. I called the boss and said, you better, you know, go down to the bar and turn the heat on, otherwise you ain't gonna have any water.
Yeah, see, now that's stressful, waking up to that kind of stuff. That'll stress you out.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially like you don't know if once the water starts flowing, is it going to be leaking now or what? You know, we got lucky; it didn't actually burst the pipes; it just stopped the flow. Yeah, this little island we're heading to is pretty nice. Pretty nice little place with Sanga Sanga there. And that is still in the Philippines. But it's like one of the last southernmost tips of the Philippines. It's right offshore of Malaysia. And that's where we're going to be flying around next week, Malaysia. In probably another 3 or 4 weeks, we will be in Australia.
Dude, those would be some cool flights.
Yeah, Australia is always fun. We've been there a number of times. I think the last time we were there was just over a year ago. I think by the time we get there, it will be like a year exactly since we've been there. Oddly enough, I feel like, God, I might be wrong about this, but I feel like my first couple YouTube streams were in Australia or maybe New Zealand. I know I've got a lot of video footage of it. Remember, we used to fly around looking for giant fruit and stuff, giant food. For some reason, New Zealand and Australia, they just have this thing where they love giant fruit and food. They've got like giant statues of bananas and giant statues of carrots and the world's largest prawn. And it's just, you know, it's just a thing. You know, they love that kind of shit there. They love big food. And it's like, the world's largest prawn is like this 100-foot tall statue of a freaking prawn. And it's all in the game, amazingly enough. guessing we're about 85 miles out-ish.
Showing 109.
109 still, okay.
Me too.
I thought it was like 175 total, and I guess we were roughly halfway.
Do you guys have the Aero Vidochi L39?
The what now?
The Aero Vidochi L39 Albatross?
Oh, if it's
Jet
default,
Air
if it's default in the game, then yeah. You're not talking about the albatross that is related to the goose, are you? The Grumman albatross?
Nope,
Okay.
the little jet used for aerobatics and air racing.
Oh, well, I don't, and I don't have anything except the C-130 that's not default. All the rest of this is just default, but there's so many default aircraft. Yeah, well, it's always a crapshoot.
Yeah, I don't remember
Go ahead
what that
and
one is.
yeah, go bring it. And we'll see what it substitutes you as. It might be funny.
And we are flying over Romeo, Papa, Mike, Juliet right now. If you want to update your airport starting location.
All these little islands just look great. And some of them that are just like a little, I think it's called an archipelago. It's just basically you can see the caldera of the volcano that formed it. It's just like a little ring around it. Yeah, pretty nice. Some of these I wonder, like especially this one I'm looking at right now, like there has to be times where it's completely underwater, right? I mean, when you deal with the tides and stuff, this thing has to be completely underwater when the tide comes in.
Possible. There was a day and time, at least in expected history, that Florida was mostly underwater.
Yeah, I bet. Actually, come to think of it, Florida looks like it might have been a land bridge at one time. Bridge to where? I don't know. Cuba?
It's kind of interesting how all the shapes, maybe not every single one, but most of them really match up quite nicely to each other.
Yeah, they do. That's pretty big evidence of continental drift.
Yeah. Even though it took like so forever, so long that it doesn't even fathom in our minds, it's still kind of cool that the puzzle pieces are there.
Well, if it wasn't for continental drift and volcanism, Earth would be a water world. We would be completely covered in water. All of this land would have been eroded away a long time ago, and it'd be at the bottom of the ocean. We'd be nothing but water. So thank God for volcanism and tectonic plates and stuff. We wouldn't have any land if it doesn't keep, you know what I mean? The Earth is continuously making land, or we wouldn't have any. We would have ran out of it a long time ago.
Or any chance the C-130 needs more than half a tank for a flight?
Not even close. The C-130 can go forever on a half tank.
My engines just randomly started cutting out. I haven't touched anything for 5 or 10 minutes.
Really?
But
Like your
they
engine
came
shut
back,
off?
Yeah. Yeah, they kind of they cut out for a second, and then it came back, and then cut out, and then it came back, and then now it's fine again.
Did it mess with your electronics when it did that? Did it like reset your main avionics panel? 'Cause I've had that happen.
Not everything.
No? Okay, well, as long as it don't mess with your electronics. I've had it kind of like right in the middle of the flight, all of a sudden, things just got weird. The only way to fix it was to restart. Yeah, I started with 30,000 pounds of fuel, and I'm down to like 22. I've barely used any.
I figured, I did look, and I was like, there's no way that I'm going to use over 30,000 pounds of fuel.
No.
That's crazy. Sorry, Bob. Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no worries. I said 23 is what I was, 23,000 on mine.
You probably also
Right.
started around 30.
I didn't even look, to be honest. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it was a bit above 30. It could have even been 36, but I was like, that should be more than enough.
Yeah, these C-130s can go forever on a half tank of fuel. They can go forever and back on a fuel tank, on a full tank.
Yeah, I know they take them over the Atlantic, I believe, and then some, probably.
Oh yeah, we could fly all the way to Hawaii in one of these things. Especially if we go high enough. Yeah, Bob, I really like that paint job on that that Hercules you got there. The D-Day paint stripes, it's great. It's simple, but every time I see it, it's like triggers good memories.
You know it's me.
I know it's you, and it reminds me of flights from the past. We're in that C-47 with the D-Day stripes. It's simple but iconic. You know what I mean? Anybody who knows it and sees
Yeah.
that is like, oh, that's cool.
Probably not too many people know it these days. You do. Coast does, I'm sure.
Yep, said but true.
The three stripes on the wing, the white ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got the W-47 on the side. Yeah, unfortunately, there was not a whole lot of C-130s at D-Day.
No, it's just like a commemorative thing,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we have one over here that flew on D-Day, at least as far as I learned.
Really? Is it still airworthy?
Yep.
Very
she
cool.
flies.
There's
It's a
not very
Tico
many of
Bell.
those. It's so expensive to maintain them. There's not too many of them that still get up in the air.
Yeah, I think I learned they run on that Marvel Mystery Oil because I remember when we were loading it up for the Hurricane Dorian relief to the Bahamas, they seemed to dump a lot of that Marvel Mystery Oil into the oil tank of those things.
What's that do?
I don't know, but I guess they
Lubricates
have
the
some
cylinder.
evidence to keep it going.
Special concoction.
I've used the Marble Mystery Oil too. It lubricates the cylinders.
Might be something like sea foam that you would add to your car's engine just to kind of keep everything lubricated.
And maybe they were putting it in the fuel tank. I don't honestly remember, but they weren't fueling it up, so I would doubt that one. But yeah, more likely what Co's saying. Just lubricates the cylinders a little better.
Remember, a lot of these engines have a lot of miles on them.
A whole lot of miles.
Yeah. Sure, more miles than I'll ever have on myself.
Well, it's the number of hours that count, not the miles. It's like a tractor. Tractors don't even count the miles, they just count the hours.
It's because they get paid by the hour.
Well, I see Spliffy back there. He's only about 24 miles out. He's catching up quick.
Oh, we'll get you.
He's going to come get us. Come keep us safe. Bring that albatross up here so I can see what you're in. Actually, it's probably going to show you as like nothing for me. I might just see you as invisible. It does weird things with the substitutions. Sometimes it does pretty good, though, I would say. Sometimes I've been more surprised in the 2024 version of how good it is sometimes, where I think what it does is, a lot of times if it doesn't know what to show you as, it kind of shows you as the same thing you're in. which is a good idea. You know what I mean? Because at least then it sort of fits the flight. Instead of just like randomly, no matter what you're in, it puts you in a 747. That's what it used to do.
Noticed they, from the last update, they made some changes to the multiplayer, or at least the server selection. Do you guys know anything about that?
Yes.
Or am I just like...
Did you notice they got rid of our old US West server? That's not even a server anymore. They got rid of it entirely.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so we just do the US East now. They said it had something to do with I don't know. It just wasn't getting good performance, or there wasn't enough people using it, or whatever. They did address it, and I don't know. Long story short, they got rid of it.
Okay.
They made an excuse to shut it down and cut costs.
Yeah. Well, I think they said something about like consolidating it with just the, you know, they didn't need 10 different time zones to fly in. They're just going to give you like 4 now.
Yeah, when I came back, I messed around and I was like, huh, it's giving me all these errors of internet connection errors and stuff. I was like, that's weird. And eventually went to that. I was like, oh, it says it's on automatic.
Yeah.
But I don't think the automatic selection was even working.
No, but when it was like,
it was giving me the errors clearly.
it'll put you on automatic, but it wouldn't switch you. You know what I mean? You have to like switch it and then do something else. I don't know. Once I put it on East server, everything's fine. It all works. To be honest, the East server is way closer to me than the West was anyway, so I get a great ping now. But it wasn't all that bad before, at least not for us.
Well, the reason that we used West server was because it was used by less people and seemed to have less issues, especially in the busier areas and so on. So
I think we just got in the habit of
bit
using it years ago, you know what I mean? Whether the reasons are still valid or not, I don't know, but we just started using it years ago and we never changed. I mean, we're talking like years ago, even back in FSX days. We always used the West server when it was available. We're getting somewhat decently close here. Not exactly sure how far.
52.
52 out? Yeah, that's not too bad. Maybe in another 10 miles. I'm going to drop her down to about 2,000 feet. We'll get ready for that runway 20.
But part of the reason why I'm also asking is that I don't have eyes on Spliffy's name tag.
You don't see Spiffy's name tag back there?
I see yours.
Yeah, I got Spiffy. I
yeah.
still got that Insomniac dude back there too. He's still at that other airport, I think.
See him.
I see, yeah, 60.
Yeah, Spiffy's just to the left, or Spiffy's name tag is just to the left of Insomniac's.
Yeah, he's like 64 miles back behind us.
But once
Yeah,
again, though,
okay.
there's a lot of weird
Gaining.
multiplayer stuff. There's always something weird in multiplayer. It's just that they haven't quite worked all the bugs out of it. Sometimes you see people, sometimes you don't. It'll work perfect one day and not work at all the next time. Just, it's mysterious. I am going to bring it down, though. I'm going to drop down to about 2,000 feet, and not in a huge hurry.
Well, no matter. I believe that you're there. They say you exist, so I'll believe them. I never noticed, but on the upper display on the C-130 on the main menu, that says something that says a button for a dig map. I didn't know that you could do treasure hunting.
Nice. See, Travis, that's why we love you. Yeah, there's one thing nice about that Dirty 30 though. It's got some nice radar displays. You can get your terrain radar going, or just your regular old, flight plan radar. It's pretty nice. The TAWS radar,
Yeah.
I believe, is the terrain awareness one.
Yeah, yeah. I like that feature in it. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of it until you showed me what that was, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's what they mean by that. It makes perfect sense. Terrain awareness, of course. Descending through 5,000 for 2,000. I can't believe that we're in the period where it is the longest possible time until more football.
You can watch, what is it? What other, there's another league that comes on afterwards. I can't remember now. UFL or something like that?
Yeah, I never really got into that too much, although there has been a couple names I recognized in there. Former NFL players. I don't think they do that lingerie bowl anymore, do they?
I haven't seen it. I'm not sure.
Asking for a friend.
Sure. Okay.
Who has friends?
Yeah, what's that? That is definitely a problem as you're getting older. That's something I talk with my dad all the time about that. You know, of course, my dad's much older than me, and he's in there. He's past his 90s, and he's very lonely. It makes me sad. I mean, I just don't know what to do. Hanging out with me is not the same thing as playing golf with his buddies or something. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. And he's the last one. He's the last one of his graduating class. He outlived all of them. He outlived all of his childhood friends. He outlived all of his current friends. And, I mean, there might be one or two people that he still considers friends, but he's in way better shape than all of them. So, there's not a whole lot of company when, you can sit and talk to him, and that's about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
it just bums me out because I can tell he's very lonely, and I don't know what to do about it. I just try to, give him as much time as I can.
Gotta go out and make some new ones.
He must live reasonably near you.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, maybe only about, 15 miles away. We go out and have lunch once a week.
Yeah,
That's pretty nice.
That's more than I see my daughters.
They live real close to you. He's still pretty good at taking care of himself. I'm real happy about that. Of course, that won't always be the case.
Maybe when summer starts spooling up, look around for some sort of community games or something that something that would interest him that he could go try out and
Right.
maybe
Oh, he's
meet
got
some
a
people at.
yeah. He's in a real old folks community kind of thing. You know, he goes to the community center and hangs out with all the old folks. And I think he goes there most every day to get lunch. You know, they always have some kind of a lunch going on. Whenever they've got fish, that's when he calls me and says, "Let's go get some food." He's not a big fish eater, so whenever they've got fish at the old folks' home, it's not the old folks' home; it's a community center. He's not in a home; he's got a place of his own. But yeah, whenever he calls me up, I know they had
Senior
fish.
living facility.
Yep. Yeah, it's just a rec center for the old people there, and it's just, you know, like I said, he's in way better shape than most of them. He doesn't have a whole lot in common with most of them. You know, he's an old military guy. You know, every once in a while, you know, he'll run into an old military guy and they really hit it off. But like I said, most people his age are just not in that good a shape, and he's still kind of raring to go. So I remember, like, I don't know, like a year ago, I go kayaking a few times a year. I really like to kayak, and yeah, I thought maybe he'd enjoy doing that too. So yeah, let's go, you know, get a couple kayaks. We'll lazily drift down the river. That's my idea of kayaking, just kind of the lazy style drifting down the river. And he hopped in that kayak and he just couldn't stop. Just paddle, 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 paddle. And it was like, it's like a, you know, it's usually like a 3 or 4 hour trip. He was done in like 2 hours. I could barely keep up with him. I kept telling him, it's like, Dad, stop paddling. Just relax. Just enjoy the sunshine and the conversation, you know. And he took it as it's exercise. You know what I mean? He just can't stop. He can't slow down.
Yeah.
You know, so he paddled the whole way as fast as he could. Barely broke a sweat, and I could barely keep up with him. It's like, geez, he just doesn't know how to relax like the rest of us do. You know what I mean? He's not built that way. He's not built for, let's just lazily drift down the river. That's not in his vocabulary. He's like, oh, you kayaking? That means paddle, paddle, paddle. I'm going to go ahead and turn final runway 20.
11 miles.
How far, Bob?
I get it.
11 miles out.
7? Oh my God, I better slow
10.
my ass down.
Let's go. 10 miles.
Oh,
south.
10 miles. Well, still. I don't want to be taken by surprise again.
I get that. I get like sometimes like moody with that kind of stuff. So maybe not moody is the right word, but you know what I mean. And yeah, sometimes I want to, you know, work out, get to the finish line, whatever. And other times I just really want to just relax and take my time too. So it just all depends for me. But I kind of get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It doesn't surprise me that that's how he goes about it. But it's like, that is not what we're up to when I say let's go kayaking. That's not really what I meant. I'm not. You know. I'm like, let's lay in the. You know, just hang out in the kayak, drink a couple beers, enjoy the sunshine, lazily talk about the world.
Watch the world go by.
And he's just like, nah, man, we got to get to the finish line, bro. Hey, everybody, Kubi Montana says, nice flight, nice stream, see you next stream. That's right, buddy. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you, man. That's our friend, Midlife Rex. He already got to the finish line. Speaking of, he got to the finish line, and yeah, we'll see you next week, buddy. Alright, this is a pretty easy to spot runway. You can see it. It almost looks like a beach. It's right on the water line there. It's pretty easy to spot. Let's bring her down. My dad does kind of take it like a badge of honor, though, that out of everybody he's ever met and hung around with, he won. He won. He's still kicking, and he doesn't, like I said, all of his friends from high school are dead. There might still be a few of his buddies from Vietnam that are kicking around, but most of those people he hasn't seen in years, doesn't even know how to get a hold of them. But yeah, he's outlived all of his friends. Like I said, not just outlived them, but he's still doing really good. You know what I mean? He's still doing good.
My first job was at a, not related to specifically, but was at a retirement facility, and we just did serving and stuff, and basically being a waiter without tips. And but we all worked really hard, and we're all, you know, young kids and stuff and whatnot. And wow, we just had some of the greatest people, and some of them, mostly specifically this one couple, was, you know, in their 90s. She might have been in her 89 or whatever at the time, but and her husband was like 92, 93 or somewhere around there. I think he reached 95 before I left.
He'll be coming in right behind you, Bob.
Might not be quite to your dad's level, but really just had the highest spirits, the highest personality, and was moving along just fine on his own business, and it was just great to see. We all loved him so much.
That was a wild landing for all three of us here. That was pretty tight. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know how I got in front of you guys, but apparently I did.
Yeah, it was on that last little bit there. No biggie.
Started with that. Okay, my brakes don't work, so I'm just gonna make a fool of myself here.
I'm kind of proud of you, Bob, for getting that
Brake.
bird down. That thing looked like it was doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Looked like you
I
were
almost
trying
lost
hard to
control of
stay.
it there.
You were trying hard to stay behind Travis, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, I
tricky.
was, and almost lost it.
Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, not your fault. I got too close to you. Yeah, I was
And-
just, I was, like you said, man, I was all over the place. I had a
Broke
hard
off
landing
my-
too. I mean,
I thought you might have hit a tree, but you didn't. And I was gonna say, if you hit a tree, it would have flipped you right over. But yeah, because there were trees, we could have clipped one easily.
yeah, I got real close.
I accidentally broke off my rear view mirror before the flight started, so
In your car, you did?
nah, I was joking with the
Oh.
flight.
Well, the rear view
I
mirrors
wasn't
is the
looking.
one part of my car that still works fine.
That's good. That is important.
I wish the guy that backed into me used his rear view mirror.
Yeah, I noticed in the real world, like the Cessnas, you know how they don't have a the back blocked off. There's some glass back there, and like the 172 and stuff, and you can see out the back of it a little bit. Well, some people are taking those Starlink minis and putting them up and back in there to get internet.
Really? You can get it when it's
Dude,
moving
I have
that fast, huh?
Charlie, and I love that thing.
Yeah, I use Starlink
Up
too
to
when I'm in
450
my
miles
RV,
an hour.
and I do like it. I mean, I knew you could use it while traveling, but I didn't know you could use it that fast. It used to be, not that long ago, you couldn't even use it
Yeah,
on a
they-
boat, but they changed it.
Yeah, they've been changing a lot of stuff for the good, for the most part at least. But I think Spliffy was kind of mentioning, they did put a speed limit in there, like 450 miles an hour or something like that, but most
Well,
people aren't going to be doing that.
I mean, unless you're in the freaking International Space Station, you don't need to worry about going faster than that.
I think
comes my man
they're just
Spliffy.
trying to target the people that can pay to pay, like the more premium price.
Right. Well, I
And
noticed they restructured everything
I
too.
don't think.
Like you can have like this unlimited paused plan kind of thing for $5 a month. It's really super low bandwidth, but it'll get you by. It's almost like, you know, that's what I've got it on. I use that all year long when I'm not using my RV, just the $5 a month plan, just so I don't have to deactivate it. And then when I'm using my RV for that month, I'll just get the $50 a month, you know, get the full speed internet.
I was actually testing that out the other day because since I didn't have a plan on mine, I had it deactivated, so they sent me a month free.
Here, our buddy
And
Insomniac found us.
Before I activated the month, I was testing that one, and yeah, it was kind of interesting that it does work. It's like dial-up, which is kind of fun. But
I've
it
been
does
pretty
work,
happy
and
with it.
it's probably a little bit better than dial-up.
The speeds on
That's kind of cool.
Starlink. Yeah, my speeds on
Yeah, just
Starlink
on the
are great.
standby.
I mean, when I'm using the
Standby plan,
$50
I
a month
think.
plan, my speeds are awesome.
Talking about on the standby mode.
Oh, on the standby
Standby
mode,
plan.
right. It's good enough to listen to music, browse the web, do whatever you need to do.
The idea is that you got just enough internet that you can connect and then upgrade it from standby if you're one of those that rarely uses it.
Yeah. But it was kind of fun. I was just testing it out to see what, like, the real world limits and stuff are. And, you can get your weather. Like, if you're on a boat, you could get your weather. It'd take a little while, but you could get your weather. You could get all your information. You could get to some websites and stuff. And I was like, well, that's actually, like, a super, like, crazy great deal.
Yeah, it's not bad.
$5, like,
Especially
a month
unlimited.
to get your needs met. That used to cost people that were, like ocean going, I don't know, quite a lot more than that, just to get bare minimum internet.
Yeah, I like it. And like I said, I like how when I'm getting ready to go camping, just with the push of a button, now I'm on the full plan. It's very easy, and it's very easy to
Yeah,
go back to
right.
the other plan too. Most other places would make it difficult to switch around just because they want to get as much money as they can. And on this, it's like they realize that it's a mobile device. You're not going to, I'm not going to need it all 12 months of the year. I'm going to need it for maybe 2 months in the summer. That's all I need it for. It works really good as
Yeah, I
long as
got
I
it
have a clear
mostly.
view of the sky. That's the one thing. If I'm like in trees and stuff, it don't work so good if I've got trees overhead. But if it's a clear view of the sky, it's as good as my home internet.
I got it mostly because it's a good backup, and also for, same purposes, just some traveling and camping purposes. And speaking of which, sounds like this year I'm going to be going camping at Sun and Fun.
Really? Well, that sounds fun.
Nice.
All right, we got Spiffy coming in that nice little albatross. That's a jet, correct? And it's a really small one, correct?
Yep.
I think I'm seeing you correctly then. And I see our buddy Insomniac pulled up in here. Looked like a PC-12 or something similar. Real
DVN
nice.
850. I got one of those black square. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks
that's the
nice.
black square. That's the more expensive one.
I'm guessing what I'm seeing him as is not the actual aircraft because he's missing his front gear. So I think I'm substituting him as a PC-12.
I just see you guys on the ground and nobody else for some reason, but that's good enough for me, I guess.
Pop a wheelie like a motorcycle.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at Spiffy showing off, doing a wheelie all the way down the runway.
I'm flying my drone right behind you, Spiffy.
I like this little jet.
That's not a default
I've
jet,
never
you say?
flown it.
You
It
had
looked
to
pretty
buy
nice.
that?
Oh, no, it is a default.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I don't know why I can see it, because I can clearly see it. Well, if that's a default, that'd be another one to recommend people to use. I need to remember that because that thing's nice and it keeps up just fine. Is that like a little trainer of some kind?
So it is intended as a trainer and I guess we'll call it a second world country fighter bomber, air
Right on.
defense.
For like the countries in like Top Gun Maverick where they don't have a name. You know, ever notice how they never told you who the enemy is? We just had to use our imagination.
That was definitely heavily based on Iran. No,
Oh,
no
for sure.
doubts.
And the first one was based on like Korea or something.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But yeah, it's kind of a shame because I love the F-14s, and Iran is the last country that, I'm not sure how they're doing today, but they were the last country that had the F-14s actually quote unquote usable, that they're actively using it. And
There was
I really
one in
wish we at
Maverick.
least...
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
spare
what I
parts
mean.
Spare parts are available to these guys.
Yeah, and that's completely true, Coast. And also, I just would love to see the F-14 and all the spare parts, brought out and everything, just to have F-14 do like maybe 2 to 5 air shows a year, and have some, people just stay in current in it and stuff. That'd be really cool to see them fly.
Yeah, well,
That's
those
all
are
I want.
iconic.
I know. That's asking for a lot, but
They're not cheap to maintain, that's for sure.
yeah. I was asking somebody that I met. There's an air museum not too far from me that I went to for the first time, and a guy that was volunteering there, he said he worked on the F-14s, and I asked him about the wings, and I was thinking that would be kind of a problem point with the retractable wings on there, and he said no, they're actually not really much of a problem for maintenance related stuff.
Oh yeah?
That's what he said anyways. But yeah, they're pretty cool airplanes. Then, for the Super Bowl, I noticed the B-1B bomber flying overhead. That was cool. It's the retractable wing for afterburner engine aircraft.
Yes, sir. Next week we'll be taking off out of here, and we're going to be in Malaysia, like right away. Not sure which direction it would be, but just offshore here. The closest island is Malaysia.
Cool. Your airplane's rocking back and forth over there. You got it.
I noticed that. Oh, my ground crew is partying it up or something.
Elephant. You got an elephant in the back or something. That thing was rocking crazy.
It was, yeah. The wingtip almost hit me a second ago. I'm jealous of your 6-bladed prop over there. Me with my 4 blades, measly 4 blades.
Yeah, it's too bad you can't see all the doors and hatches open and a power unit sitting out there and
Right.
everything. The ramps down.
Right. Well, I can see my own, but not yours.
Yeah.
About how many blades you have, it's about how you use them.
It's not how you use them?
It's about how you use them.
Alright, let's open all this up.
Yeah, the thrust for some of these high blade things can not equate to exactly how many blades you have.
And that Dirty 30 has thrust to spare. I mean, it'll jump out of your skin if you're not hanging on. There we go.
I didn't realize they had a paramotor in here. I've probably seen it before, but
That we don't have what in here?
so that they have a paramotor on the aircraft list.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I never messed with that.
I don't
thing
know how the hell
before.
we would ever use that, but
I tried that one time. It was different. I'll just say that. It wasn't bad, but
probably
you
be
can't go
better
very
off
far
to
very
use it
fast,
to,
that's for sure.
you use it to mow the grass.
Butt fans.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to do that after your flight because you know if you chip the prop, you might be in for a little bit of a surprise.
Here, I put a picture of my power unit down there below.
Oh, yeah, let me check that out. Nice. You can open up the nose and everything on that, can't you? Or it doesn't have a radome.
I don't think this one opens. I don't, or at least, no, I don't think so.
That's one of the things that always impressed me about the C-130, the Captain Sim one, is you can open up that nose in front and you can see the radar dish going back and forth. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's neat. And then
Yeah.
what do? They roll that power unit back up inside the aircraft when they're done with it? You just take it along with you?
I
Probably
suppose you
supposed
could,
to
but
stay at the airport.
Yeah, you probably could,
Yeah.
but they would wonder what happened to it. That's what always kind of cracks me up when you see. Well, that's one of the things I enjoyed about Maverick, is in that movie Maverick. Like in other movies, they'll hop in a jet and flip a couple switches and it's ready to go.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's not quite how it works. I mean, you have to have it hooked up to some kind of power source, you know. And in Maverick, they did. They had their external power supply right there, and they were lucky that there was one right there, and they got the bird fired up, and then they got out of there. But most TV shows and movies, they hop in, close the door, and fly away. It's like, it takes a little more than that to spool up those engines, you know.
Yeah, they definitely skipped a couple steps and so forth, but I was super impressed that they even like had that much in there. I was like, what?
Yeah,
No
they
way.
even took that into account. It was just as soon as they went into the hangar, I was like, oh, look, they've got an APU unit right there. Perfect. You know what I mean? If they try to start the aircraft, at least they can.
Yeah. I'm actually curious because they did a really good job on that, and I think Tom Cruise was really pushing towards like some more accuracy or just as close as you can get.
Dude, just
With
the parts where they were like
And
all the stuff in the air and all the shit from like inside the cockpit, amazing. Absolutely amazing. They did such a good job.
most of that inside the cockpit stuff was actually real footage, from my
Yeah, I heard
understanding.
that.
Like,
Yeah, they
if
said for
not
like the actors
majority or all
that
of it.
they had to teach the actors how to use the cameras because there wasn't room for a cameraman. So they had to be their own cameraman while they were in the cockpit. That was cool.
Yeah, and they just use the T model F-18s, the dual seat ones, and they're likely just in the back of those, and that's really awesome.
Pretty cool.
I'm really glad that our Navy helped them with that film.
Yeah, that movie was great. And the first one was great too. The second one
Aren't
is
they?
as good.
Aren't they making another one?
I don't know. I'd be surprised if they never made another one, you know? They like making money, and I like watching their movies, so make another one.
I thought I saw where they were going to make a third one. Maybe I'm imagining things. I mean, it's getting at that age, I guess.
Right. Hey, I'd watch it. A
I
lot
just
of
have
people
no
would.
idea. I haven't heard yes or no or any otherwise, so I'm not saying it's not happening.
Well,
Hopefully
guys and
it does.
girls, it was an absolutely fantastic flight around the Philippines. This was our final night here, and it was great. So, yeah, if you've got any last-minute business to take care of in the Philippines, you better take care of it now because we're not going to be here long. Next week we're out. But I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream. It was a pleasure, as always. You guys are a blast to hang out with. I always love doing this on Fridays, and we're going to keep doing it. So meet us back here next Friday night at the same time. We are going to continue exploring the world, and yeah, we're going to do that. C-130s all day long, man. So everybody have a good week and a good weekend, and we'll see you next Friday. Bye now.